world surrounded by franchises, reboots, and shared universes. An elite team of podcasters will risk body and soul to investigate the depths of intellectual properties, one multiverse, subgenre, and trend at a time. Who are we? We're the IP Squad.
Welcome back to the IP Squad and our ongoing investigation into films based on video games. I'm John Campbell. Joining me for this part of the investigation, it's Elliott Lewis.
All right, Cap. I've compiled. I'm surrounded by files, by case files for this.
Yeah, you put in for that overtime.
Yeah.
You've been working at night.
I haven't seen my family in weeks.
Yeah. My kids don't even know who I am.
My kids don't even know who I am, but it's all because of FNAF.
Yeah. Oh boy, this was unavoidable, folks. It's Five Nights at Freddy's from 2023,
starring everyone's first pick for this, Josh Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson, a guy who, while I was watching this, I went, I think I might truly have no opinion about this man.
Yeah.
He doesn't bother me.
Nope.
Nor do I think he's great. He's pretty harmless, and he gave a expected, ineffectual, but not bad performance.
Yeah, a solid 6 out of 10.
Yeah. He's
doing okay.
Yeah.
Not his best, but he's doing it.
Yeah. The only thing I've ever thought he was really good in, to me, is weirdly The Beekeeper with Jason Statham, because he's having fun being like a piece of shit tech bro bad guy. And it's the only time I've ever seen him like cut loose.
Yeah, like have an emotion on his face.
Yeah, he's like playing like a nasty little nepo baby, scumbag that you're just like, I can't wait to see Jason Statham kill you. And it's and he's just having fun. Here, I mean, no one would have been. This is such a this whole movie. Okay.
Because he, as unfortunate as is the unfortunate case of, I kind of been seen him as being typecast as just a very, like you said, just inoffensive
guy,
person you can project on, and also like.
Because he's
kind of his own person.
Because he's
a little bit.
He's good looking, but not super handsome. But decent. But he really is just like.
Wouldn't kick him out of bed for eating crackers.
Yeah, no, he's the kind of guy where you're like, that guy lives next door and he's pretty handsome and okay. Yeah,
he is really still even at I don't know. Is he our age? My age? Your age?
He's 32 as of the recording.
32, literally my age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even at 32, he looks like the boy next door.
I will say that was still the thing in this movie when it started, and I went like, Jesus, you still look like you're in high school, man. He and also, he is of smaller stature, which I think adds. Yeah, he's cute. He's a cute little guy.
He's a cute little guy.
Yeah.
We can't hold that against him.
Yeah. And a lot of this, I was surprised at how more of this movie is him looking sad than it is anything to do with killer animatronics.
Yeah, I watched this last night because tis the season for a spooky movie, so I watched it at night.
Yep.
But I'm still chewing on this, but like I don't know how I feel 100% about the plot that this movie took for itself. Because it gets bogged down by itself in a lot of places.
Big time.
But because of the PG-13 rating, I don't know what else they would have substituted in there.
The biggest thing that surprised me, and I went into this is not a movie I ever intended to watch. I've never played any of the games. I don't really know anything about them beyond the general idea of it being a haunted Chuck E. Cheese, essentially. The biggest thing that surprised me in watching this was how boring this movie was my biggest shock at, like, my God, I was reading some of the reviews of it from major critics, and I saw somebody use the word plodding, and I'm like, yeah, that's a fair criticism.
Ooh. That is a kind of good word for
it takes a long time.
Because really the middle, yeah, it does. It just plods along. And
and I just kept going, like, isn't this supposed to be about killer animatronics? I would expect it to, even if I think it's dumb, to at least be kind of like bonkers and fun. And it gets there, but it gets there so late. By the time you get to, and of course spoilers for the movie, by the time you get to Matthew Lillard dressed up as was he a rabbit?
Yes, a rabbit.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, this is kind of the movie I thought I was going to get.
Right. But okay, so this is where we're going to get into the stacks of case files.
Yeah. Oh, crack those case files open.
So this movie, and I am here because I technically know more about Five Nights at Freddy's than you, which is still not much.
No,
but
and it's mainly just because it's kind of like horror goes to Elliott by default.
Yeah, that's the cross that I've decided to
Gorgoni
bear.
said too scary.
Which, like,
no, I don't think
he could handle this.
Oh,
I think he could handle this, but I'm not gonna make him watch it.
No, I wouldn't subject anyone to this movie, period.
No.
But no, there is nothing scary in this movie. No, I mean, like, really, beyond conceptual things. Like, child murder is, of course, inherently bad and creepy. But,
yes.
But
I do think there were some moments where I think it built tension fairly decently.
Yeah.
But I was mostly baffled the whole time. Or most of the time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Especially that weird bit in the middle where they're making a fort with the animatronics and the dance floor, and
the whole section
just sitting there like mouth agape.
Where they befriended the animatronics. Yeah. That whole section, I was like, okay, this movie is not at all what I was thinking. What is happening right now? They're friend of the animal. Why is it cute now?
So, okay. So, this movie is kind of, you're familiar with the fan fiction term AU, alternate universe.
Yes.
Yeah. So this movie is kind of a Five Nights at Freddy's AU that takes a lot of things from various games. In fact, let's see, how many Wikipedia articles do I have open? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6. It takes bits and pieces from like 5 of the games.
Okay.
Thereabouts.
Because I did I was telling you before this, I watched it with my sister who has watched people play the games, and so had a lot of things where I was, and so I kept eventually going, like, is that from the games? And she kept going, kind of, that's sort of a thing from the games. I think that's kind of what,
So, like, Mike, the basic conceit of it, of the guy, Mike Schmidt, getting this job as a security guard at the rundown version, that is the main conceit of the first game. Is this Mike Schmidt guy getting this job as the night security guard in the rundown version of Five Nights of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, whatever. The restaurant is not called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Come here for 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Come to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, it's spooky.
The bit about the kids going missing in 87, that's kind of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's part of the like backstory of the first game, and then the second game is set in 87 with a different guy, and
Okay.
Vanessa comes from the game that was released in 2021, the Freddy Fazbear Outbreak or whatever.
Yeah.
Security Breach.
Okay, so that's the police officer. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but she is not connected to Matthew Lillard's character. That's a different guy named Mike in a different game who's the guy's son.
Okay.
But like that thing with the rabbit, I think his rabbit is Springtrap. I'm almost positive. That's the name of it.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Springtrap. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that
Yeah.
the one that they're gonna put Abby in is from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, which is another game.
Okay.
Baby doll.
It is.
Five Nights
It
at
is
Freddy's.
a lot here. Now the stuff. With,
Yes.
the,
it's a version of her.
the stuff with the sister. That's all this movie. Right?
That's nothing.
Okay. Because
That
the
is
thing I thought
wholly
about
invented.
the thing I thought about this was, I bet the script had this be his daughter, and then they got Hutcherson. And they went, nobody's going to believe that.
Nobody's gonna believe this man
Even if he
has a
is
child.
actually old enough, just like
literally old enough to be a father. No,
but
there's
no,
no way.
you take one look at him and you're like, it's like when they cast Zac Efron in the Firestarter remake. I'm like, Efron doesn't have a kid.
Does not have a
That's
child.
not a dad. I don't care if he is old enough. That doesn't look like a dad. I'm sorry. No offense to Zac Efron, but yeah. But similar. These are baby-faced fellas, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, so because I went like, oh, it's his sister, and the whole. I couldn't believe how much of this movie was a domestic drama about a custody dispute.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that.
That's sort of right. The a lot of the getting it,
Yeah.
bogging its own self down by the plot. And I don't want to get too much into Scott Cawthon, but he is all over this in terms of like all the credits, producer credit. I think he has a writer credit.
He has a story by, yeah.
Story. Okay.
Oh no,
okay,
he does.
okay.
No, he's got both. So he's got a story by and a
Okay.
screenplay credit. Yes.
And again, I don't know how much of a point there is to this, to bringing this up, but like he got his start in making Christian point and click video games that
Yeah.
were not popular, and so then the literal next thing he did was Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And he has like I believe like Baptist background.
I mean, looking at
And-
his Wikipedia, very conservative,
Yeah.
religious guy, it seems like.
Yeah. So I wonder how much of
Yeah, because I wouldn't say the thing I think about the Five Nights at Freddy's thing, and some of the reason why it doesn't appeal to me. Number one, it's just not the kind of game I would play, because it seems like it's literally a game where you're just kind of running around and, you know, trying to. It just doesn't seem very exciting. But also, it doesn't come off as Christian to me, but it comes off as the kind of horror from people who don't want to get too, you know, it comes off very innocent. Like, we don't really want to go too hard at this thing. And that's gotta, if not actively Christian, like middle America Halloween spooky.
Yeah, like an inherently conservative in the way that is like the kind of almost literal definition of just not going too far out there.
Yeah, conservative, not the political, but the just concept of being
Yes.
conservative. Yeah, it does feel that, where it's just like I said, it's a suburban dad's Halloween decorations level of horror.
Although I will say there are no good endings in the games. They all are just pretty big bummers. If you once you get like the Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of like breached containment. I think further than Cawthon ever intended. I mean, obviously,
Oh, of course, yeah,
but
yeah.
like when you kind of peel back the like uh the reach that the character, like the animatronics themselves have had, because that's really what you think of. Like you were saying, I
Hmm.
think before we started recording, or maybe after, that like when you think when the average person thinks Five Nights at Freddy's, you think of the animatronics first.
Of course.
Um, and I will say they looked pretty good.
Hmm. I mean, I don't think the
Um,
movie. I don't think the movie looks bad. This is
no, there was
Blumhouse
a
that
real
made
like
it. They put in resources.
there was they really could have phoned this one in,
Yeah.
and I do think that on a like a production level, it's actually kind of impressive.
Hmm. I do think it's interesting. The person they hired to direct this is a fairly. I haven't seen her first movie, which is called The Wind. I don't know if you ever saw
Neither
this.
have I.
It's a horror film, a little horror film. IFC Midnight, the genre arm of
Oh yeah.
IFC, released it. Tiny little movie. It actually seems more. It's a horror western, which actually appeals more to me than this movie does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to check it out now. But I will say it's an interesting. Um, they didn't get like they didn't get a normal like one of the Blumhouse regulars
Right.
or really anyone with any kind of particular name, which I think does speak in some ways to like we're not trying to rock the boat here. We don't want to have someone come in and go, "This is James Wan's
Five
Five
Nights
Nights
at
at Freddy's," right? I mean, as much as I would probably like that movie more,
Yeah.
I think there is sort of a thing about we want somebody who's gonna, it's a little bit the Marvel thing about let's go get somebody from Sundance who kind of doesn't yet have a voice yet to
Yes.
take over.
But like has at least
Some
maybe a
skill.
little bit of experience in the genre.
Yeah, some skill, some idea of where to put because we don't want somebody we're gonna have to hold their hand, but we also don't want somebody who's got the clout to be like, I'm gonna do it
Right.
this way. Because it's interesting. I'm looking at the history of the movie version. This was originally started at Warner Brothers and then jumped over to Blumhouse.
Oh.
And when it was at Warner Brothers, Seth Graham Smith was going to write it. Who does he initially was famous for the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and Abraham Lincoln Vampire
Oh
Hunter.
yes. Okay.
And then
I was like, I cannot. Why is this name
yeah, and
in my
now
head?
does a lot of collaborations with Tim Burton,
Mm.
and worked on the It movies. But I, from the sound of it, maybe was trying to take it to a scarier place than Cawthon wanted.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting. And then at one point, Chris Columbus was going to direct, and I actually think that he actually might have made something kind of right for this.
Yeah.
Because this is the guy who wrote Goonies and Gremlins and sort of, I think maybe could have, and kicked off the Harry Potter movies.
Yes.
I think he's pretty good at making things that are for kids, but are genre pieces. I feel like that's
And-
maybe the best version of this.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a shame that never happened. Because yes, that I could really see.
Yeah.
I could see how the parts that were good about this could have been better
Yeah.
under him, for sure.
And no surprise, he and Cawthon butted heads. And that's what ultimately Cawthon didn't
Weird.
like Columbus's script, and Columbus
Huh.
was like, I'm Chris Columbus. Once again,
I don't
it's that
like.
kind of
Who are you?
Yeah, it's just like, why am I listening to this guy? I'm out, man. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
direct anything else I want to do.
Yeah.
And he's
Fucking
doing because
fair.
he just did the Thursday Murder Club on Netflix. Columbus.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's good. It's
Okay.
it's super fun. Old British people in a retirement home solving mysteries. Oh.
That's so he
Ellie,
was like,
you've-
I have to make it for these two specific people.
Oh, Elliot, you've got to watch Thursday Murder Club.
Okay,
You'll love it
okay.
because it's Helen Mirren, Ben Kingsley, and Pierce Brosnan, and
Okay.
they're just cute old people who solve a mystery that may or may not have been committed by David Tennant.
Oh,
Yeah, check it
you
out.
know
It's
what?
on.
And that, if I had a nickel for every time.
It's super fun. Anyway, so he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go do this. That's I'm Chris Columbus. I just think that it's so interesting. Anyway, Cawthon then teamed up with the person who wrote the novels of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, there are novels.
Yeah, that's
well, actually, I know there are graphic novels. I don't know if I didn't know if there were like written like.
Yeah.
I did not know that there was Five Nights at Freddy's prose.
It's not a lot of the Blum comments are like, yeah, we're working on it, and it's just kind of like, I don't want to say that it's one guy in particular's fault for what's slowing it down, but I will say that one of the you talked about the creatures looking good. The animatronics were done by the Jim Henson Creature Shop.
Yes,
which is makes a massive difference.
Like if you're gonna go to town, go in a Lincoln.
Go to the best. It's always the thing I bring up as a massive Ninja Turtles fan. The first two Ninja Turtles movies were Henson Creature Shop. Then that third one isn't, and you can tell. It just plummets the quality on that third Ninja Turtles movie, which I've still seen like 20 times though.
Don't get me wrong.
No, I still am. Yeah, because I'm not. What am I crazy? Yeah, I do think. Yeah, and so then it ends up with Cawthon and Seth Cuddeback? I don't know how to pronounce his name exactly.
Yeah.
And then director Emma Tammy are the three credited screenwriters.
Mm-hmm.
What did Cuddeback work on?
Yes, there are three.
Not much.
It's a trilogy of novels.
Okay.
And then there are also a bunch of short stories.
Yeah.
Good God, there are so many.
So the person who wrote the bulk of the novels is one of the story by credits.
Kira Breed Winsley or Wesley.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Worked on a draft of this. I just think it's so interesting, and I mean, I guess it's actually not that surprising that with the games being what they are, which is essentially. At least the first game is basically running around and closing doors, from what I gather, so that the things don't eat you.
Yeah, like the gameplay of the first 3 games are all point and click survival horror, essentially.
My point was, I'm not too surprised that they were struggling to figure out, like, what is that as a film narrative?
Right. Yeah, like that's the thing. That's the thing with like I don't hate the conceptually I don't hate the plot, but it does feel like but the plot outside of basically of Mike and Abby's whole domestic custody dispute thing with their weird aunt who is kind of the best part about this movie because she's chewing the scenery.
Mary Stuart Masterson plays the aunt, and I love Mary Stuart Masterson. She's a real deal actress, and it is like I thought the same thing. I'm like, you are trying way harder than this movie needs you to be trying to play this character. And I've always really liked her. And going back to, I loved her in the John Hughes movie, Some Kind of Wonderful from back in the 80s. Which anyone who's heard me talk about it, I've mentioned on other podcast. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, but like, I mean, there's always this kind of balance of like this. The plot feels like a middling to bad episode of Criminal Minds.
Yes. Because also, I love that she's got hench people.
Yes,
which is so...
her lawyer and these. The babysitter and the babysitter's brother, and then these 2 other people.
Yeah, I'm just like, why do you have a cadre of minions with you? Also, the casting of her lawyer is so weird, and it's never acknowledged, or they never really do anything with him. But he is the strangest little old guy. And
he's so funny.
Yeah, and I kept waiting for him. Like, is this gonna? And I kept going like, can I get some more about this guy? I have so many questions about this guy. And he just kind of sits there.
Yeah, the diner scene is really his only moment to shine, and he is shining. But like, that's the last time he shows up in the movie.
Yeah, it is just sort of because, like we're talking about, there's the stuff with the Hutcherson and his sister and the custody battle, But then it's going to hard shift into kind of a different movie once we get to the kid killings and their souls in the animatronics. And you're like, wait a minute. Then it just kind of drops the custody stuff because it's like, that's obviously where we're more interested. And actually, like you're talking about, the actual plot when it started, I was like, okay, this is all right. Why is this taken an hour plus to get to this? And you also spend, because of the police character, Vanessa. Elizabeth Leo, who I also think is a good actress. I think everybody in the movie is good. They're just, it's
there's just not.
But I spend a lot of the time going, what the fuck does she care? Like, because it takes a long time. I just kept going, why is she so invested in what this guy's doing? And she's like, she not only shows up at Freddy's, she shows up at his house later. I'm just going like, is she stalking Josh Hutcherson? What? And then of course you get the reveal. And also, the second Lillard showed up, I'm like, he's gonna end up being evil somehow, because they definitely cast him for people like you and I to be like killer from the first Scream.
Yeah, and his stint on Twin Peaks: The Return.
Yeah, I mean he's the guy they cast for genre cred, right? Like, horror nerds like he's Shaggy in all the Scooby-Doo stuff.
He's Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. Like,
yeah, I mean, I love Matthew Lillard. I think he's a great actor. And I think he's having a lot of fun. Much like his performance in the original Scream is bonkersville, and I love it.
There's a moment where when he has the suit on at the end, but before he's taken and like, right, his voice is so distinctive.
Oh, yeah.
That I'm like, wow, who could the guy in the suit
yeah,
be?
it's instant. You're like, oh, it's Lillard. Yeah, of course. And I went, of course it is. Because that's why you cast him, right? Like,
yeah, but he's like doing something with the knife, and it's like literally the same move he did from the first Scream movie. And someone was asking him, like, "Hey, did you do that on purpose?" And he was like, "I'm too stupid to remember that, so no."
That's great. He's also like 6'5". He's got a distinctive voice, look, build. Everything about him is so. And then they've announced for the second movie, Skeet Ulrich is joining the cast, so you're gonna have both the Scream killers in the second one.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm just like, God, you guys are so chasing like my generation with this, aren't you?
What has Skeet Ulrich been up to?
Yeah, well, appearing as a ghost in the last couple Scream movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've stayed with the
No,
franchise.
I haven't.
Oh, yeah. He showed up because the main character currently of the Scream movies is the biological daughter of that guy. And so the whole thing is, am I destined to be a killer like my dad? So you get him showing up in mirrors going like, you want to kill people.
Even
No, it's
they doing any CG to make him look younger? Because he did die when he was 16 years old. So
I don't know if it's any CG. It's a lot of smoothing, whether that's digitally or with makeup, and a lot of obfuscating him in the mirror sort of stuff,
yes,
right?
Like,
yeah.
Wow,
it was a while ago, but I do think that's like, Jesus, you're just owning it now, Five Nights at Freddy's. They're just like, hey, 90s kids.
90s kids, remember this?
Remember him and remember her. I mean, I'm waiting for his and we've got Nev Campbell in the third one. Why not?
Oh, Nev, please don't.
No, she's now coming back to take over the Scream franchise again. So they're making another one.
They're just throwing all the spaghetti at the wall, as much spaghetti as they can find.
Well, Blumhouse I just saw an interview with Jason Blum's like, yeah, I'm really trying to get the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street franchises. I'm just like,
oh, I just saw an interview with him where he was like, AI is the future. It's not going anywhere. I'm Jason Blum, and I am putting a target on my company by saying this.
That guy talks a lot. I will say, I feel like every day there's a new interview with Jason Blum, and I'm always like, sometimes I like what he's saying, sometimes I'm like, okay, buddy, whatever. And I will say, that's actually kind of true about his company. I like a lot of their movies. I've disliked a lot of their movies.
Yeah, they are sort of hit or miss.
Well, they're a real quantity over quality. They put out a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff like this, when this started with their logo, I went, well, I didn't remember this was Blumhouse. because so there's a lot of stuff that comes out I don't even know is them. I'm like, right.
Oh.
Because then I did enjoy him having to come out and apologize for the second Megan, where he's just like, yeah, we shouldn't have done that. That was our mistake. I think I put Megan in the same category as this movie to a certain extent, where it's like horror for people who don't like horror to a certain extent.
Oh,
it's like because it's the memification of horror, right?
That's okay. That's actually not a bad point.
Yeah,
I think that I mean, Mithrigan's definitely scarier than this.
it definitely is. It definitely is. I don't mean completely simple, but it is sort of this thing where it's like we're really, at least in the marketing, emphasizing the like, this is goofy, man.
So what it makes me think, and actually this is I just kind of, these synapses just fired, because when I was watching the Megan trailers originally,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this Deadly Friend is all over this.
Oh God,
and
yeah.
Famously, Deadly Friend was not supposed to be a horror movie.
No.
And so it's interesting that like Megan, and I'm not so much sure about this because it's like there's so much of a brand behind it already.
Yeah,
but
sure.
it's like going for a thing that was a studio interference originally in the first place.
Yeah.
And they're trying to hit that because of what, like, it Deadly Friend is kind of campy and kind of culty because of all of that happening.
Oh,
it wasn't on purpose. But they're trying to
Friend
hit that on purpose.
Is a very strange watch because
Yes.
the tone of that movie is all over the place.
All over the place.
Crazy movie. And yes, it does feel like, in the case of Mithrigan, I apologize for not calling it by its real title.
Yeah.
Mithrigan, just like Fant Forstick.
Yeah, Fan Forstick and Mithrigan.
Yeah. Were those related to each other? That's the same universe, right?
Interesting.
It's right up there with Tac-3an, the third Taken movie. I love Tac-3an. But the stop putting numbers in words, Hollywood.
It's not cute. We're making fun of you.
It is. Every time they do it, I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. The thing about that is, yeah, they made a horror movie. Some of the clips became memes, so then they kind of backtracked it into being more of that movie. And then when they made the second one, it was all meme. But then it was like, now you're pandering and no one's interested.
Yeah.
That you can't make those things happen.
No. And I wish to God that they would just realize that after one of these doesn't work, because and it just keeps happening.
The second Mithrigan really did feel like, hey kids, have we got something for you? If there's one thing kids don't like is being like,
it's being told, hey, here's something for you.
Here's what you
like,
kids
no,
love, right?
Stupid.
Yeah, I don't think so. This movie, however, made boatloads of money, and I understand the games are popular, but like I don't see what anyone would like about this movie to a certain extent. It's such a weirdly, I found it so strangely paced, especially young people I feel like would think it's boring. It's fascinating to me that it became such a big hit.
Yeah.
I'm obviously, I recognize I just asked you to speculate on what the youth audience is, which I don't know either.
I mean, listen, I am technically younger than you, so
you're a couple years younger than me, yeah.
Just a couple,
yeah,
but still enough.
That's enough, yeah. But
no, but like, I also don't know. Like, again, a lot of my notes are like, I'm just baffled. I'm just baffled.
Because the movie, because it's a lot, like we talk about, a lot of the movie isn't at Freddy's. And a lot of it is really going for, I kept thinking about, and you were on for the Stephen King season, I kept thinking a lot of the dream sequence stuff felt like it was trying to do that Stephen King, like, tortured horror protagonist thing. But they're really not very interesting, the dream sequence. They're highly repetitive. I wanted the imagery to be weirder and trippier. Like Wes Craven would have probably knocked it out of the park, you know. But like, yeah, because because the whole thing, he's so tortured, right? Is the whole thing, and
he's
even
so like the first, like the fact that he goes to sleep every night on purpose to think about the worst thing that's ever happened to him. I'm like, dog,
yeah,
could not be me.
I did keep thinking
I'm
about
not even I'm that depressed.
I did keep thinking about like, I think the answer is therapy, my friend. Have we considered this? Because he keeps like, but he's got the prescription. What's he taking? Because that becomes a minor. That is dropped in and then also thrown away very quickly.
Yes. So, and this is where we have not talked about the actual plot of this movie at all, but
not really, no.
So this is where its own like plot I think bogs itself down, because it's almost, there are almost pieces of it that feel like a character study of this guy, and again, like I don't think that kids care. I'm not sure kids care about that.
No. But it's also not well written enough for me as an adult to get invested in it as drama.
It is a middling to bad episode of Criminal Minds where this guy, so his book he has about the theory of dreams.
Yeah.
Right, which is also brought up and then kind of ditched very quickly.
Yeah. Because all this, and which makes sense, because the whole opening, I was just like, isn't this movie about killer animatronics? When is that gonna happen?
When is that gonna happen? So every night, so he takes sleeping pills.
Yes.
To help him get to sleep, and I don't know what this prescription he has is. I don't remember which one, like what it actually is. I don't know if this specific sleeping medication helps you get into REM sleep, which is where you dream. I don't know.
I have so many questions about like, where did he get that though, and who was he talking to, and what was he saying to that doctor? Like, it's that kind of thing where once again it's like, either do this all the way or don't do it at all, right?
Don't
like,
do it.
Yeah. The mental health stuff in this movie is just a mess.
Mess. It's all over the place.
An absolute mess. Yeah.
But he has his Nebraska poster above his bed.
Made me laugh.
And he listens to nature sounds, and he is to put himself back using sensory input to place himself back into a moment in time where he was camping with his parents and his little brother, and his little brother was kidnapped, and he is returning to this dream again literally every night. Could not be me.
Oh my god.
To try and glean more information from it about the car, the person, like if he can recreate more of it in his mind, he can figure out who took his little brother. It's
kind of an interesting pitch for a different movie where a guy is trying to solve a crime in his dreams, and you're like, that. Have you seen the movie Jack's Back with James Spader?
No, I have not.
In this movie, it's crazier than this movie. I think you might kind of dig it, Elliot. It's James Spader's twin brother is murdered, and because the movie is really asking for a lot of twin, mythical,
right. The movie is asking you to be like, okay, you believe in weird twin shit, right? Okay, as long as we're at that baseline, you're gonna love this movie.
Robert Picardo is a psychologist who can put James Spader in hypnosis to keep reliving his brother's murder through his eyes to find out who did it.
That sounds kick ass.
And it is just crazy, weird, sexy young Spader.
I love sexy Spader.
I think you would dig. I'm not saying it's a good movie, but it is a wild movie. And also his brother's death, the reason it's called Jack's Back, is related to a serial killer who's reenacting the crimes of Jack the Ripper. But what I love about the movie is that's like that's also just happened. That's not the main thing. Is about this weird twin mystery. Yeah, you've got Spader in a leather jacket with an earring being like I give a fuck, man.
Okay, don't mind if I do.
Yeah, it is really going for prime smoldering Spader. Anyway, but that's what that made me think of, this whole thing here. Which, like I said, though, I'm going like, okay, kind of an interesting idea. Still not sure what that has to do with animatronics. And boy, do they try to tie these things together, kind of.
Yes. So when he gets this, Mike is a security. I swear to God, I'm gonna walk you out of my damn room. I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's with my damn cat.
When the movie starts, he's working as a mall security guard.
Yes.
And this is another thing that when I talk about the mental health of this movie is a mess. This is a thing where he thinks he sees a guy kidnapping a kid, and then proceeds to mercilessly beat the shit out of him.
Yes.
And the movie just kind of goes like, oh, that's bad. But I'm like, whoa. He's now not only like depressed, got some PTSD, he's like a danger to society now.
And
the movie kind of just like,
all that the world that this movie exists in is very strange.
Right. Because he gets fired for this. Not arrested.
But nothing else. Yeah. He just loses his job.
Yeah.
That's all.
And then still can get another job. Although, of course, that's a horror movie setup where the guy getting him that job is actually really a serial killer.
Yes. Yeah. Of course.
Which, once again, the second, it's Lillard.
Why is William Afton working as a career services employee? Who's to say?
Yeah. It's just, the second it's Lillard, I'm like, all right, well, something hinky's going on here.
Yeah. Of course.
But yeah.
But he's offered a job as a night security guard, working solo, so he's not in danger of beating up any mall goers.
Yeah. Which is obviously how the world would handle this. They go, okay, you know what the thing is, the mistake was we let him around people. If we just keep him isolated, then it'll be fine. You're like, I don't know, man. Once again, it feels like, at the very least, if not jail, some sort of court-ordered mental health treatment.
Some sort of restorative justice is in order here.
We just skip past the guy who got the shit beaten out of him for no reason. What about that guy?
He's fine.
Yeah, whatever. He's all right.
He's literally fine.
Yeah.
Is offered this position at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria.
Yep.
That is broken down.
Oh, and also the loosest.
Work anymore.
I love this whole thing about, like, why wouldn't they tear it down? And there's just a one-off line about, like, oh, the owner's very sentimental.
Yeah, he can keep paying the rent somehow. I guess. I don't know.
Okay, you're like, well, that's insane. Sure.
But he can't work nights. So
right.
Then we go into the domestic drama portion that that means he has to work at Freddy Fazbear.
He's got a cute little sister that he's got to take care of.
And they have an aunt who is so over the top evil for what she is.
Well, because I mean, you would think, like, she's not even offering, like, well, how about let me help take care? She's like, I want that kid. Come on.
My nephew is a deadbeat, and I hate his ass.
She's shitty to Hutcherson and about him. And it's like, and there's no consideration, of course, for what the girl wants at all. Never. Wow, could there be?
And, like, the fact, she is correct with Josh Hutcherson's recent history of beating a man up in a mall.
She would
gain custody of him.
I was going to say that's another thing where that would be the end of it. Once again, basically no consequences for that.
No, again, this is not the real world.
And he didn't just, like, push him around. They show him savagely raining blows upon this man.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't, like, he tackles him into the fountain, and that's bad enough.
Yeah.
But then he continuously punches this man in the face.
And people are, like, screaming, going, stop. And he's just, and he's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But even the aunt is like, but I also hate my nephew, but my niece also, what's up with her? Gotta get her institutionalized.
What's her deal?
Right?
She's pretty weird.
Sorry, you're also not a fit caretaker if that's how you're approaching. Anyway,
Well,
whatever.
and you
Again,
and
this is not the real. This is not real life.
No,
This is clearly not the real world.
and has tons of contacts on her phone apparently for just general scumbags to come and help her out. Because the two henchmen guys. Well, and the reveal that the babysitter he's hired is also in on the thing. Crazy.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Betrayal.
Yeah. It is. It is wild.
But so because of this, Josh Hutcherson does take this job. But so because there's really not a whole lot going on, because it's just a broken down Chuck E. Cheese essentially, he falls asleep to do his work.
Yeah.
His investigation into his own dream.
Because I mean,
and
like
the
what?
ghosts.
The ghosts
of the children. Now these 5 random children, 4, 5.
4.
Bonnie, Chica, Fred.
I'm looking at the poster.
Eddie.
It's 4.
It's 4 and Foxy. Yeah, these 4 kids.
Yeah.
Pop into his dream.
Yeah.
Unless the cupcake is one of them, probably not. Pop into his dream.
I don't know.
To hang out, and that's weird if you don't know the backstory of the games, that you don't know that they're the ghosts of the children.
Yep. No, which I didn't, so I was just like, and these kids are who now?
Yeah. And is that when the police officer shows? It gets a little fuzzy.
Well, because it
is very repetitive. Like you said, it is very repetitive.
And it's the 5 Nights at Freddy's, so I went, oh, wait. No, I think it's the second night. Because I think the first night, literally, like, basically nothing happens, and I went,
yes,
what was
which
that?
Is consistent with the game.
Well, and I had that realization. I was like, Jesus, nothing happened. Then I went, oh, God, because it's 5 Nights at Freddy. Oh, for fuck.
Yeah.
That means get ready for nothing to happen for a while.
Yes, and
I think we
loosey-goosey with how many days this is, though.
Yeah, it gets unclear at a certain point. And if it's just 5 nights, a lot has been learned and revealed. Yeah, like the police officer gets way too close with him way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that kind of, which is not uncommon in movies. People in movies always form bonds and relationships so much faster than reality.
Yes, because it's like, you gotta run time to think about it.
It's truncated where you're just like, how are they in love now? They met 12 hours ago, and stuff like that. Where it's like, anyway, and maybe that's just my cynical nature, but it's like crazy talk.
Nobody falls in love this fast.
Yeah, don't you just trust everyone you meet automatically? Is that just me? But so yeah, then this police officer show, and for a brief period of time, I was like, oh, she's not real, is she? I really thought for a second she was a figment of his imagination, because I'm just like, this gorgeous police officer shows up and like spends the evening with him, which I did also think, like, no patrols or anything to run. She can just spend the whole night at Fred. Okay, all right.
Okay.
I guess this is a quiet town, except for those horrible child murders that happened once.
Yeah, but that was so long ago. Question mark.
Don't worry, we've eradicated crime in the city since then.
Yeah.
It's the safest city in America, except for those ghost possessed animatronics.
Animatronics and the people who. And the 4 people who love to break into places and ransack them.
I do like when that becomes the big plan. They're like, all right, how we're really going to do him in is we're going to wait for him to leave work. Then we're going to go in and trash the place. Which the idea being that they're going to be like, you're fired because this place got trashed when you weren't there.
I know. Like, I give the movie a little bit of leeway on that, because clearly Alex and her brother are not smart people. No. So like they would come up with a plan this dumb that wouldn't work. Because you people broke in here when you weren't on duty, and so not responsible. And they try to throw in something afterwards with Vanessa finding his sleeping pills there. But like, that like, oh, you were too zonked out to lock the door, but that's not even how they got in. And she knows that.
And so here comes, I did think, like, what is the point of these henchmen? Then I went, oh, because somebody has to die and it's not going to be any of the main characters.
We need a body count.
But also, then this is where I really became, because we haven't really talked about the PG-13 of it all. They die in some of the least gruesome ways I've ever seen in a film. And I don't even mean, like, it's not even I want to see gore, but, like, even the implication really is like, huh? It's so, it's such a light touch.
Yeah, I think the one that's the wildest is probably Alex, who gets bit the fuck in half by Freddy.
Although apparently her body contained no blood, which is wild. It is a bloodless bisecting that I've never seen before. But I also thought that's one of those things where I'm like, why did she get it the worst?
Yeah.
Like the two guys, because she's the one who's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then she gets bit in half.
Yes.
And the other guys just kind of get
that's
like...
part of the bummer aspect, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then, like, also end of deaths at that point, pretty much.
Yes. Nobody else dies for the rest of the movie. You got that one big sequence kind of in the first third, and then pretty much nothing else.
Because one guy gets taken out by Mr. Cupcake. I'm reading here is the name of that character.
Oh, okay. Duh, of course it was just Mr. Cupcake.
Oh yeah, I'm like nobody lost a lot of brain cells on that or anything, did they? Don't strain yourself, guys. Mr. Cupcake. Yeah. But I also like that this whole group gets killed and then he just shows up for his shift and he doesn't even acknowledge that the place is trashed.
Actually, I mean, kind of, because Alex has been bit in half.
Yeah.
She can't babysit, which is so typical.
And we had already seen that the sister wanted to go with him to this place, which is okay.
Random.
Yeah. The sister is kind of whatever the movie needs her to be in any moment, right? Like her feelings about stuff.
Yeah, she's kind of very blank, like, again, mental health stuff being all over the place, but
yeah, she
is kind of a very blank slate of, like, she's just a quiet kid who likes to draw, and so yes, she can kind of be whatever she needs to be.
And you talk about, like, the mental health stuff being what it is sort of just like, I can't tell if I'm supposed to think, like, does she need help? Is that just kind of her personality?
Yeah, because their parents are dead. I mean,
yeah.
That theoretically could fuck someone up pretty bad.
I think so, but the movie isn't about her, so it doesn't matter. Piper Rubio plays Abby, and once again, good. She's a good actress.
I think she's adorable. So we'll get there, but some of her line deliveries are like just fucking sent me. I was laughing so hard. But so because Alex can't babysit, he does take Abby to work with him. And he builds her a little fort in his office, which I did think was very cute.
It's one of the only times you see anything resembling a connection between them.
Yes.
And the whole movie is supposed to be about, you can't take her away from me. And I'm like, really? Because it seems like you're more focused on your dream mystery than...
Yeah, this is where the Criminal Minds aspect of it comes, is like why I was thinking that is because it's like, oh my God, this, like, I know this is for kids, but also, like, kids deserve better plots than this.
They do. I mean,
it's like, wow, have you seen an episode of television before? Because you know where this is going.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. The thing about kids is that thing about when you mention Chris Columbus is like, yeah, Goonies, Gremlins. These were movies that were for kids, but are still well done, are still a little bit scary, but in a good way, and are smart and funny. Like, there's a reason that, like, things like Stranger Things are like, remember the 80s when you used to have movies for kids that, like, were solid?
That treated kids like people?
Yeah. Instead, this movie, I mean, she is almost a prop. And then, of course, the whole bit about her then befriending the animatronics, and that's where I truly was like, all right, I don't know what's happening in this movie anymore.
Yeah, I was supremely baffled.
Okay,
because right, it's like, okay, and now suddenly she's quiet and weird because she's psychic.
Yeah.
somehow.
She's got the shine.
She's got the oh my god, it's all oh my god.
Scatman
right.
Crothers shows up. They got the shine. Boy, it's and then not only does she befriend these things, but the whole montage where they're hanging out with them, and I'm just going, I mean, literally, like my jaw was on the floor going, this is what this movie is?
This is what we're doing? This is what we're spending
now they're cute?
A good 15 minutes on?
I thought I was supposed to be scared of them. Now I'm supposed to love them?
Like, yeah, am I supposed to be... But no, I mean, the answer is no. I was like, am I supposed to be, like, feeling tension in that, like, I have seen them... We just watched them kill four people.
Bite a woman in half.
Am I supposed to feel unsettled by the fact that they could become murderers at any point? And the answer is no. No, because this scene is played for comedy.
Absolutely. And then even down the stretch of the movie, it all becomes about Lillard being the villain, and they're kind of on the side of good in some ways, or at least like cosmic justice.
Mm-hmm. And
so that was something I never expected, was like, wait, I'm supposed to be rooting for these things by the end of the movie?
And that portion, I think, comes kind of from later games, but also comes from the fandomization, which is not a word, but like how the fandom has grown out of this, because in Five Nights at Freddy's Containment Breach, that's not what I keep forgetting the name of the goddamn game. Security Breach.
Okay.
In Security Breach, Freddy Fazbear is what's the secondary protagonist. There's like a word for it. I don't remember what it is. But it's like the secondary protagonist of the game.
Yeah.
He's like helping the kid that you're playing as escape all of the other animatronics, and he's a good guy.
Oh my god, he got Harley Quinn.
He got Harley Quinn.
And
he's Venom. Also, apparently that one's also like a glam rock version. I don't know.
Oh, sure, yeah. Let's Bowie him up while we're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that is a classic thing in comic books, right? The villains who take on such fandom that they end up becoming heroes. Yeah, Harley Quinn and Venom are always the two that come to mind, where it's like, oh, we love them so much that now they're good guys. You're like, wait, what?
Or at the very least, morally gray.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. The word they always use is anti-heroes, right?
Yes.
You're like, yeah, okay, sure. But yeah, that I was shocked that ended up being the case here, because now here's the big question: is this from the game, that the animatronics are possessed by dead kids?
Yes.
Okay. But
yes, that is true.
But they're more sinister, obviously, in the games.
Yes. Let's see. Hold on. Blah, blah, blah. That's the 1983 one. That's Freddy 4.
I mean, the idea that there is such dense timelines in these games is funny to me.
It's so there's so much. There's like 100 games.
It's kind of just the world we live in, right? And some of why I do this show, right, is this idea that everything is an expanded universe with fans who are paying, diligent attention to everything. And I get it, because there's the stuff I like that people are like, wait, what? Who cares? But it's very interesting to me.
Yeah. Or maybe, well, okay, maybe this got retconned, because I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm going to kind of pick out the most important bits. So the animatronics are allowed to become mobile at night due to their servo motors locking up if they're left off for too long.
Okay.
If an animatronic encounters a human after hours, it will mistake them for an animatronic endoskeleton and will place a human into a spare mechanical suit, which kills them in the process. I don't know. Listen, it seems like a bad design choice to me, but whatever.
Yes.
Dr. Wily also made all those robots, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And then there was an incident which implied to have led to the loss of a person's frontal lobe.
Okay.
Because the other thing about the animatronic suits, right, is that they can also be piloted by people, as well as mechanics.
That I will say is one of the creepier concepts in the movie is the opening
Yes.
sequence where you see the security guard get like drilled into the thing is once again scary in idea and execution. You hardly see any of course.
Yes. And then newspaper clippings viewable through the camera feeds revealed that a man reportedly lured 5 children into a back room and killed them. Although the suspect was never arrested, the children's bodies were never found. Restaurant later received complaints that the animatronics began to emit foul odors while blood and mucus leaked from their eyes and mouths. So that's implying that the children's bodies are inside the animatronics.
Okay.
Et cetera, blah, 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 blah.
Dense mythology.
Yes. And so then later... So then in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is a prequel...
Of course. As you would expect.
Multiple children murdered.
Yeah, a bunch of kids died. Mayhem and massacre. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. And I was up very late looking at all of this. I can't remember where they say that all of this is true. Again. But yes, so yes, that is a thing from the games in which the things are possessed. I think there's a bit about Abby's stuff is wholly like wholesale created for this, but there's a bit of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 in it about like where it's like a kid kind of having imaginary friends that end up being the animatronics, and they are. I think that is where it's implied that they're the dead kids. But their spirits have become corrupted or something. But yes, there is the implication, well, it's not an implication, it's explicit, that Vanessa says that her father, who murdered these children, has some sort of control over them and has manipulated their memories about who he is and what their purpose is.
Okay. So in this movie, they are the spirits of the kids... But there's also bodies in them, but it's not the bodies of the kids, obviously. Because they're trying to get new bodies in the animatronics as part of the movie.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's doing the thing that in the first game where there's a spare suit and they're trying to put people in the spare suit.
Okay, because at a certain point down the stretch here, Hutcherson is tied up, and they're trying to get him in the thing.
Yes, but that is none of the
other ones. Yeah,
none of the other ones.
Okay, so they've all already are being piloted by somebody.
Yes, all of these mechs have pilots.
Yeah, don't worry, kids.
Mobile suit Freddy is underway, being produced.
Well, but so that what my point is to bring all this, because then it's all set up by Matthew Lillard, and what is his goal? I think the silence says it all.
Also unclear, because the robot, the animatronics want Abby because she can see them and likes them, and they like her. So they're trying to put her into the baby doll one.
Right.
And Matthew Lillard, I think, just loves murder.
It does, because I'm looking at the Wikipedia plot description. Here it says, Mike manages to disable the animatronics, but Afton arrives in the yellow rabbit suit, which is not a mech. It's just a costume. It's like a mascot costume.
Correct. It is a costume that has the ability to be an animatronic.
Right, because that will be used to defeat
he is wearing it.
Yeah. Manages to disable... So Afton arrives and reactivates them, overpowering Mike. He unmasks and reveals himself to be Steve, the career guidance counselor. Vanessa attempts to stop Afton, but I'm like, from what? I mean, obviously murdering them.
Yes,
but
he is going to murder.
But to what end?
Because clearly, like... I think it's also implied that he is the one who owns Freddy Fazbear's.
I kind of assumed that, yeah.
And Josh Hutcherson's desire is to destroy the animatronics and save his sister. I think maybe Afton also wants to murder his sister because again he loves killing kids.
Yeah.
So
But like
he
that,
wants
this was
the sister to be murdered.
But I mean, that was all his plan from the start when he gave him the job. But that's the thing where I'm like,
because also he was also the one who kidnapped Garrett. Weirdly,
yes,
coincidentally. So
but,
he like at the beginning
what
when
I find,
he's reading
yeah,
Mike's file and kind of recognizes his last name.
Yeah, which I like the idea that Schmidt would be. Oh, that must be that.
Right. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But the thing I was going to say about that though is what I find interesting is though he did his brother isn't one of the animatronics.
No, because his brother got murdered in Nebraska again.
Well, but there are so many times that this script avoids doing things that would like if one of the animatronics had been his brother, that could have been a beat of emotion for Hutchison realizing that he's seen his own brother kind of alive in this thing. Mm-hmm. No.
Nah.
They just go, no, these just doesn't matter. Or that he gets to talk to his brother in the dream or something like that. And
like the ghosts manipulate his dream to be like,
that's
you could just do this.
Yeah,
we could just make you live in this dream forever to make you happy. And that's when he realizes, like, wait, but I actually love my sister, even though that was technically true the whole time. If you believe,
he weirdly doesn't have much of an arc as a character.
No.
And not a lot is resolved because then it just becomes about fighting this guy. But even him fighting Lillard doesn't really matter because the animatronics take him out. But then you're like, why couldn't they have taken him out from the beginning? It has to do with the sister drawing a picture of them that gives them power?
Yes. Because Vanessa says something about, like, he has manipulated their ghost memories into believing that he, Springtrap, is like their friend and someone that they should listen to.
Right.
But then Abby draws a picture that's like, actually, Springtrap sucks.
Yeah.
And you should kill his ass.
And they're like, cool, got it.
And they're like, oh, wait, you're so right. We hate Springtrap.
Yeah, now that I think about it.
Now that I think about it, I think Mr. Cupcake should fuck him up.
Yeah. And then he ends up being fully taken down by them activating the animatronics in his suit that are like crushing him.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is true.
A lot of the movie was me watching the movie going, am what I perceiving what's actually happening?
I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
Or if this is some mechanical thing they made up, but there's this idea, and I think it's kind of explained in the movie, but I think maybe I read what I was reading was like, oh, that makes sense. That the mechanisms that there are mechanisms that can be pushed into the lining so that a person can wear them. Wear the suit, and then if there's a malfunction with that, they'll like spring back on you and just kill your ass.
I see.
But I don't know if that's a real thing. I don't know if
it's a horrible design.
If animatronic suits were ever wearable, as well as being able to be powered mechanically. I do not know the history of animatronics.
Ultimately, what brings down Lillard here, although of course
it seems that Mr. Cupcake bites at the suit in such a way that it breaks the lining so that the metal bits go into his ribs and slowly, very slowly kill him.
Very slowly kill him enough to get him back in the next movie. Because he even has like I'll be back.
Yeah.
Next time, and maybe I'll bring my friend Skeet Ulrich with me.
Yes.
Hey, 90s kids. You'd love that. You would love that. We'll take a break from our convention appearances.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll sign a couple more Ghostface Funko Pops, and then you'll get yours. They're always at conventions together, these two, which makes sense. But yeah,
that's cute.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like that they're buddies. But yeah, I will say I did go this going. I will not be watching the second one of these. I can't.
Oh, good. Because it comes out in December, so I was
Yeah.
really worried that it was going to be part of this season.
No, it's just under the cutoff for me.
Okay.
And I'm not committing to doing, I'm not committing to going back to check out all of these sequels. Because
Okay.
I don't. Why is it coming out in December?
I have no idea.
This one came out in October, and that would, or something like that. Did it? It should have. These seem like spooky movies for spooky time season.
For spooky times.
When did this come out?
It came out, it came out in October of
right,
last year,
right
or
before,
2 years ago.
Right before Halloween. That makes sense.
Yeah. But this one's coming out on December 5th.
Great. Spend your Christmas with Freddy. And his friends.
More like 12 days of Freddy.
Yeah, am I right? Oh, yeah, 12 days at Freddy's, yeah. This time there will be no second chances. Great. I'm already terrified.
That sucks. Sorry. The line, the dialogue exchange that I wrote down that fucking sent me after they have their fun time party with the robots, and the next morning he's asking her about stuff, and he's like, are they ghosts? Yeah. How else would they get the machines to move? Like, she just asked it as like, are you stupid? Like, duh. Yeah, of course they're ghosts.
And he's
idiot.
like, oh God, of course. Right. I can't. There's no other way the machines would move. It has to be ghosts.
Yeah.
What?
God, speaking of, I mean, before the climax where they have their final battle, like, Freddy goes to their house.
Yeah.
To pick her up. It's just...
Did he drive?
No, apparently... Well, actually, that's weird, because he gets there somehow, and then the way they get back is a taxi. So, I don't know, he walked?
I don't know.
They must not live that far away.
I just want to see one of these things at the wheel of a car. That's all I need in my life. Just bombing down the road and yeah. Oh boy. Well, I did not enjoy my 5 Nights at Freddy's. Particularly, like I said, the biggest thing that got me was like I expected it to be more fun. I don't think I've actually mentioned this since we started recording. I was talking about it beforehand. My big thing is if you're really like a big horror fan and you don't care about 5 Nights at Freddy's, but somewhat like this idea, check out Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage, which is this movie but stripped down, because this thing's like an hour. What's this thing run? Like an hour 40 something? Too long is the answer.
Too long. I was up late.
Hour 49. Jesus, it's that close to 2 hours? Christ, that's unacceptable.
My God. Does not earn that run.
Willy's Wonderland runs a solid 88 minutes.
Ooh, delicious.
And also it streams the storyline down, so it's a one-night siege movie. Nicolas Cage is like a drifter who they're like, hey man, you need a couple of bucks. Why don't you clean out this place we're going to demolish? And it's like a Chuck E. Cheese. And these things come after him. And I think he's locked in there because, of course, they're like, you're a, unhoused drifter who nobody cares about. But little do they know, of course, that he's just fucking ready to roll.
They know it's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
He's not locked in there with them. They're locked in here with him.
I can't remember if he actually has no dialogue, but he has at least very little dialogue. Most of the movie really is just Nicolas Cage fighting, physically throwing down with animatronics. He is punching them to the point that weird goo is coming out of them. And he hardly speaks, but he just screams, and it kind of kicks ass. I watched it going like, I don't know what this is. I'll watch anything with Nicolas Cage though. And then I went, this movie kind of rocks.
Nice.
Yeah. So I would say, and it's R-rated. Once again, it's short and just cooks in a way that this movie doesn't. But I greatly enjoyed it. So check out Willy's Wonderland would be my recommendation. This movie, though, back to this, made a hell of a lot of money at the box office.
It made that FNAF money.
Yeah, I know. They only spent $20 million on it, which is kind of a Blumhouse thing. They're known for.
Yeah, it's a classic.
I think $20 million is their cap, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's their thing. Is they don't make anything that costs more than that. It made $297.1 million, which is some good.
Not bad.
That's good money. Where do you think that landed it though in the top box office of 2023? Reminding you once again that the highest grossing movie of 2023, of course, was Barbie.
Oh yes.
Followed by the Super Mario Brothers movie. Those both made. Barbie made $1.4 billion. Mario made $1.3 billion. Oppenheimer.
I was about to say number 2 is, if it's not Oppenheimer, Oppenheimer's number 3 because everybody did. Lots of people did that Barbenheimer.
Yeah, which is the best thing that ever happened to Oppenheimer. A 3-hour character study that's just a stone cold bummer. I loved it, but it is a movie that would not have made 900.
Hey, good for Oppenheimer. It came out on the same day as Barbie.
Yep, and it became the fun thing to do. Then it was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then Fast X were your top 5. Where was Five Nights at Freddy's?
I think that Five Nights at Freddy's. Did you give me a number for Barbie?
1.4 billion.
1.4 billion, and Five Nights at Freddy's weighed 120
290,
million?
297
290, not even the same
million.
numbers.
297 million.
270 million. I'm gonna put this in like the early 40s. I'm gonna say like 42.
Ooh, wow. 25.
Oh, see, and my instinct was to go 20s, but that fucked me over last time. God damn it.
25, yeah. Just above The Boy and the Heron. And just below Migration, which I had to look up what that was, and it's a cartoon movie about ducks with Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh, I actually do know what that is.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer. I didn't
see it.
No, yeah.
But I know of it.
It was one of those movies that the trailer played in front of every single movie I saw. And I'm like, I don't know, I guess that looks okay. A lot of those, unless it's like a Pixar, all the CG animated stuff kind of just bleeds together to me, where I'm just like, okay. Yeah.
Which is kind of a shame because some of them are like kind of club bangers, like the Storks movie was
that good?
Kind of funny.
Well, I do, you know what? I do find that it is like years later, people go, that one was pretty good, and I'll check it out, and it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. One that did get praised, but I didn't initially catch up with until just recently is The Wild Robot, which I fucking love.
Oh, yeah.
Love The Wild Robot. I was shocked at how good that was. Because I think that was DreamWorks, and every once in a while DreamWorks is like way on it. It's weird.
Yes.
Like every 5th or 6th movie, I'm like, wow, damn, DreamWorks, good stuff. Why can't you be like this all the time? They're like, we don't want to.
Hold on, wait. Okay. I'm trying putting Puss in Boots. The Last Wish was really good too.
Yeah, the Puss in Boots, both of the Puss in Boots movies are way better than they should be.
I just don't what's a bad DreamWorks? Like, what to you is a bad DreamWorks movie that's come out?
Maybe not bad.
Like in the last 10 years.
But they're maybe not bad. Bad may be excessive. Well, the Kung Fu Panda stuff. They do a lot of I don't dislike them.
Listen, Kung Fu Panda and Kung Fu Panda 2 made me cry. So
okay, all right.
I will say the 4th one is like not great.
The Madagascar series.
Okay, well that's like early 2000s.
There are more of those than you think, though. I don't.
I know.
Okay, all right. I'm
just saying it's been a minute since they've had a clunker. Okay?
They have gotten better. There's no question. Now I'm like, they must have put out something bad. Yeah. I don't know. I will say I'm always a little. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I love the How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, they do the Trolls movies. Those aren't good.
I'm so sorry to say this, John.
Are the Trolls movies good? All right.
I think you would have a fun time if you watched Trolls.
I mean, okay, I guess, to be fair, this is kind of my I've never watched either of the Bad Guys movies either. I know those are very big for them.
Yes, a lot of people like those.
I never saw Abominable. I will say it is more, I guess, I haven't watched as many of those.
Okay, that's fair. And
Yeah.
that's fair. That's you know what? Maybe it's not your bag, but
They do seem a little bit more aimed at kids
keep my wife's
than
name out your mouth.
Pixar.
That's all I'm saying.
You're gonna go Will Smith on me here in a second.
Yeah.
All right, let's
right to do it.
Let's finish up with some highs and lows. All right. Boy, oh boy. The people who really love this movie. I mean, there's a lot of people who are just like, oh my god, they did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Okay. Here we go. This comes to us from Bun Fazbear XL. I don't know.
Okay.
Title of the review: childish, cringe, made in a hurry, primitive, not scary movie adaptation of first FNAF aimed at commercial interest. That's the title of the review.
Okay.
Why does it look so much like another FNAF fan fiction? In these phrases, there is nothing recognizable from the original series except perhaps the animatronics themselves, as if this film is trying hard to seem like canon, but it's not. And judging by the introduction, I can hardly say that this film will be a weak thriller of a B category for the young target audience of FNAF. Bravo, Scott! It was once horror, but it became children's entertainment because it's more profitable work for a children's audience. The ending, where Steve Raglan dies from spring locks in a spring Bonnie suit, is literally taken from Scott Cotton's 2017 book Silver Eyes, but unlike the book version where the suit slams shut because he was pushed away by the main protagonist Charlie, whom he took hostage, then in the film spring locks are triggered from the fact that animatronic Cupcake jumps on spring Bonnie, biting off part of the belly of the suit and touching these springs. What a cringe. I know. I'm so embarrassed for him. I don't know what this person's talking about.
Yeah, John. And also, okay, you call yourself a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, fucking fake fan over here. It's clearly not Bonnie. That's a different one. Like, come on, even I know that.
The villain himself, William Afton, did not seem interesting to me from the word at all. An ordinary sadist for the children's audience for which the film is designed, it may work, but as a character, it is empty and simplified. The costumes, especially the Spring Bonnie costume, looked worse than many fan cosplay costumes. I mean, William Afton's suit looks bulky, carelessly made, as if the designers did not even try to make a nice costume, and the material from which it made looks like some kind of sponge. The pizzeria itself, especially the office, has absolutely no atmosphere of the first part, and looks cardboard. In fact, everything in the movie looks hastily done, as if the creators abandoned this project for years and after a long time decided to make a film with the most simplified story and collect money from the youngest audience. I'm not waiting for a sequel or prequel because as true fans of the series, I don't want to suffer seeing how FNAF buries itself deeper into the grave. Not that I expected some very atmospheric and dark thriller with a very charismatic film adaptation of William Afton, but in my opinion, it turned out to be the worst option. 1 out of 10 stars. I wanted somebody who was a fan disliking it, as opposed to just somebody like me being like, I don't know, I don't get this.
I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, there's some things in there that I kind of agree with.
Sure.
I don't think personally, I think the production quality was a lot better than what they were saying.
Oh, agreed. Yeah, that none of my issue had anything to do with that, really. I thought the sets and designs and everything were fine. I agree that if the villain is just, as we talked about, just an evil murderer who likes to murder, and that seems to be his whole bag. That's not.
There's a way to do that that's interesting, and this certainly didn't do that.
Yeah, I would actually say that Matthew Lillard in Scream kind of pulls that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those guys are just like sick thrill killers.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun.
And the thing is that Wes Craven, I think, hot take, is a better writer than Scott Cawthon.
Better writer, better film. Yeah, I mean, just the across the board. Look, we stan a Wes Craven for sure. One of the masters. Man, if he had made a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, that would have been some anything.
Alas.
Yeah, alas, we ended up with this, which is, once again, probably not the worst it could have been, but I was probably never going to lie. Well, here's somebody who disagrees with that, though. This comes from Tom Key, 19255. I don't know. Who calls it a masterpiece of gaming adaptation. The long-awaited film adaptation of the popular horror game Five Nights at Freddy's has finally hit the screens, and it's nothing short of cinematic triumph. Directed by Emma Tammy, the movie has been the subject of hype and fan theories for months. Describes the plot, whatever. What sets this movie apart is the faithful adaptation of the original game. The film's animatronics and attention to small details from the games have been widely praised. It successfully replicates the game's intense atmosphere and jump scares, making it a treat for both longtime fans and newcomers. While some critics have been less kind about its story and level of horror, it's important to remember that FNAF is not just about scares. It's about the suspense, the anticipation, and the thrill of what lurks in the shadows. And on these fronts, the movie delivers in spades. In conclusion, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is an emotional roller coaster that keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's a testament to how video game adaptation should be done, offering a perfect blend of nostalgia for fans and fresh thrills for newcomers. A solid 10 out of 10 stars.
And we didn't, well, I mean, mostly when we talked about video game stuff, it was about like bits and pieces from the other games. But in terms, we didn't really talk about the adaptation portion as much, like, or
some
like
of
the
that is
success
just
and failure.
I have no real, bearing. I have no real grounding in the source material, other than I think it's an interesting point that they bring up about the suspense and what lurks in the dark. I was surprised at how little that was part of the movie.
Yeah.
There's actually not a lot of creeping around with those things in the darkness.
It's true. Like the where that happens the most is when the random thugs are breaking in, and there's a lot of like kind of quick, like, this is where I think that some of the suspense was done pretty well. Is like there are jump scares, and that's part of the game. So I didn't bring any of that up because I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, there's a bunch of jump scares in this movie. It's like, no, well, that is a part of the video game.
I went in
I do think
expecting that
some of them are done fairly decently in here.
Like I said, I want to watch the other movie that this woman directed, and I would like to see her make stuff other than this, because I think that she's got skill. You can tell she knows what she's doing with the camera and editing. Well, she's back directing. Well, of course. Why wouldn't you? By the way, solo screenplay credit to Cawthon on the second one.
Ugh.
That's not good.
No. Oh dear.
Yeah. I will say, actually, looking at because critics, of course, slam this movie for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of them do credit her visual sensibility. Yeah,
which good. Yes, good for her.
Yeah,
because she has a very good eye.
Absolutely. Most of my issues are with the script more than that. The most effective, like, creepy shot I thought in the movie, which does feel very much like what I think of the video game being too, is the when they're looking at the security camera and you see all the animatronics, and then they cut back to it again, and one of them is just missing.
Yes,
I thought. Yeah. That's the vibe I would think this movie would have.
That's FNAF.
Yeah, and I'm going like, okay, good, subtle, visual, suspense. But I will say a lot of them, because you talk about like, well, there's not enough scares. It's all about suspense. I'm like, actually, a lot of the time isn't even spent about developing suspense. I would be fine with that.
It's about all this weird domestic drama. So much of it is domestic drama.
Like I said, that was my big thing. I was shocked by how much of the movie was that. I couldn't believe. I really was. I'm like, wow. And then once again, and people went to this. People were like, yeah, I want to see that. You're just like, really? Because sometimes there's a kind of horror. I'm not big on jump scare centric movies, but I understand the appeal of them. So like when one of them really hits, especially like all the stuff in the especially the Conjuring related movies, where I'm just going like, not my thing, but I understand the impulse to be like, let's go see something that's going to spook us on a Friday night. I can understand this. This though, I don't really get what anyone's getting out of this movie. It just doesn't feel like it delivers on the goods nearly enough.
No, I think I had a better time watching this than you, because two of the folks I was watching with had already seen it.
Okay.
So like, you know, we were kind of riffing a little bit.
Sure.
But they had already seen it and like liked it well enough.
Mm.
So that probably improved my experience.
For sure.
But I did spend a lot of this being like, I don't know how to feel. Me and Joshy in the same boat at one point, just going, what the fuck is going on?
There was a lot of that for me. A lot of it was really just like, this is what they're choosing to spend their time on. Like I spent a lot of time thinking about what was the thought of the filmmakers here. Where I'm just like, really? That's what we're emphasizing. And it's not even, it's different than me going, oh, this is so bad, as much as I'm just like, I can't believe this scene is still going. Why? It is just so not the movie I thought it was going to be for the most part. There are parts where I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's kind of what I thought the whole movie would be like. So I think that was my biggest surprise in it. It didn't even make me mad as much. I was just like, oh wow, okay,
just confused.
Yeah, this is and then yeah, kind of bored. Where you're just like, I think you've made this point, you guys. Yeah, and like I said, no interest in a second one from me. I'm good.
I wouldn't have watched this
because I can't
had it not been for.
I can't imagine that the second one won't be even more repetitive. I don't really know what the take on the second one is at all, but
from what I'm hearing, and the fact that they have actors cast as the other animatronics.
Yep.
And from what I've heard, there's going to be a lot of them outside of the pizzeria. So so people are wondering if like it's going to be kind of like 4, where, you know, they're like, it's going to be somebody having to like be in a house with them and like avoiding being murdered. Because the animatronics do talk in 4, I'm pretty sure.
Well, so. I mean, I as we're recording this the weekend of New York Comic-Con, they have just announced Megan Fox is voicing Chica.
Yes. Yeah.
Which they seem very excited about, and my reaction is like, who could possibly care? That's not a comment on Megan Fox, but just they could have said anyone was the voice of Chica, and I would have been like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And one of Cawthon's YouTube cohort, a YouTuber who is like part of Cawthon's circle has also been cast as Foxy, I believe, Matt Pat, for those who know and care.
Oh, I do think it's interesting that like, he Matthew Patrick, is that?
Yeah.
He is doing Toy Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie. Okay.
Yeah, Bonnie. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting. They go Megan Fox for Chica, and then no one else is like a name like that.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. Okay.
But maybe because they did get a couple of YouTubers in this one. None that I'm familiar with, so I don't remember their names. But there was some surprise from at least my friends last night that like, yeah, it's weird that beans. Who's the hot YouTuber that everyone's fucking horny about?
You're talking to the wrong guy.
I know.
Yeah.
The guy with the dark hair.
Unless they're doing in-depth,
trying to be an actor, or not. That's mean, but he's like kind of breaking into acting.
He's trying to act.
He's trying to be an actor.
Yeah.
No,
look at him try.
I don't think that. Y'all don't come for me. Was he? God, this is me being like, am I old?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely Like I said, unless you're doing in-depth film.
Markiplier.
Okay.
Markiplier's the one they might like, because he was also kind of part of the Five Nights at Freddy's kind of circle, because he was also doing like Let's Plays and stuff.
He's in this one?
No, he wasn't. That's just like it's like, oh, it's weird that they didn't get Markiplier in this, but maybe he'll be in the next one. I don't know.
I see. Yeah. Once again, yeah, those are the exact. What did we just do? Oh, on Meet the Monsters, we just did a movie that's horrible about like influencers fighting vampires. And there were a bunch of cameos from real like YouTubers, and the whole thing was just Brendan and I going, I understand this is a cameo from the way it's presented. I have no idea who these people are.
God, imagining, that's
Yeah,
a funny,
the
funny
two of us
thought
going
Brendan
like,
being like, I
"Oh,
don't know this. I don't know.
because
Who is this?
it's one of those things where you can tell, like, okay, they're filming this like it's a
Yes.
cameo, but I don't know. And honestly, the only people I did recognize were people I had seen in a documentary about the abusive world of kid influencers. I'm like, oh, I know them because something bad happened to them.
Oh dear.
Yeah, not great. So anyway, there you go. There's your Five Nights at Freddy's movie, you guys. I don't know why anyone.
Are you happy now?
Because I will say, but my thing about not is it'll come out later, and we've already recorded it. Like the Minecraft movie, I also was not into because I don't care, but I did understand what people got out of that. Like that movie made sense on the like, okay, this is not for me, but I see what audience this is for. Anyway, I don't know. But if you want to hear more from us, and why wouldn't you, you can head over to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/punchup, and that's punchup ENT, get cool exclusive bonus content, as well as archives of classic episodes from some of our stuff that's behind the paywall, including bonus episodes of Material Components that you can hear Elliott on every week on the Punch Up Entertainment Network.
Ayo.
So check that out. And also make sure Gorgoni always reminds me to plug this, which is very nice of him to remind me to plug things that are outside of this. Make sure you subscribe to the Tesla City Stories podcast, which I'm a cast member in.
Oh yeah.
Where we do old time radio scripts from the 1940s of all different varieties and genres, and fellow IP squatter Brendan Jones directs and acts in that as well. So check that out. We have new episodes of that every week on that feed. And make sure you follow us on YouTube. Like, comment. You can watch. Speaking of watching people play video games, people can watch you and Mike Gorgoni play through Mass Effect and now Mass Effect 2. You guys are going through.
Yes, we are currently on Mass Effect 2. Chugging along.
There you go. Very cool. So check all that out. Next week on the show, Mike Gorgoni will be back with us for Who Boy Borderlands. Eli Roth's kind of by the because that we've already recorded that, so we'll talk about why it's kind of a film by Eli Roth.
Fun.
Yeah. It's an interesting watch.
Okay.
But yeah, that'll be next week on the show. But until then, the case file is closed.